Good morning. We've got some new information to go over with you this week and some new reports to break down. We've got new reports regarding future inventory, mortgage interest rates, and homebuyer demand, as well as notes from Fed members and details on the most recent NHAB builder survey. So let's get right into it and jump to the bottom line. Good morning, everyone. We hope you had a lovely Valentine's Day week. Unfortunately, we got no love for mortgage rates as we saw a 21 basis point jump to the 30-year fixed rate for loans with a conforming loan limit. This brings rates from 6.18% to 6.39%, according to the most recent MBA weekly rate survey. Now, this is the first time that we've seen an increase to this rate in the last 6 weeks. But it was enough of a move that it puts us back to the highest rate that we've seen in the last 5 weeks. And that wipes out a lot of the progress that we had made in January, specifically the later half. Now, keep in mind, though, rates are cyclical, so we're likely to see periods where the rate's going to increase, even if the overall trend is that rates are going to be decreasing throughout this year, which is why we want to keep a close eye on these numbers and bring it to you each and every week. Now, when we shift our focus over to home buyers and that side of the equation, we can look at how prospective home buyers are reacting to this information. And nationwide, we saw mortgage applications to purchase a home decrease by 5.5%, and overall applications for a mortgage in general, including purchase and refis, go down by 7.7%. It basically wipes out the week prior, which was an increase on overall applications of 7.4%. Now, the reason for the increase in rates is that the market is reacting primarily to the stronger than expected jobs report that we got, which we've broken down here for you before. There's a lot of headline in numbers with that with regard to reduced unemployment and historically low unemployment. When you dig in a little bit deeper and start to see that a lot of that is part-time work and that it's not as strong of a report as it might seem, but the markets don't do that. They are reacting to headline information. And they're also reacting to the main concern that the Fed, might not see inflation moderating by enough to really change their stance on what they want to do with their monetary policy. There's actually Fed board members like James Bullard who says that he's in favor of a 50 basis point rate hike. And he was at the last meeting, and he is again for the next one coming up on March 22nd. He's not alone either. Fed Chair Mester and Kashari also echoes some of the same thoughts. Now, Fed Chair Powell was pretty clear that the Fed would be doing 25 basis point hikes from here. And we think actually the Fed may have already done enough. It takes these Fed hikes a long time to work their way through each layer of the economy and to be fully felt by the economy. As a reminder, they started hiking this rate less than a year ago from the very beginning, never mind having a year of a sustained increased rate. So we'll have to see how that's all going to unfold and how they're going to react to it. But to kind of change perspectives a little bit, we have the main man, Justin Small, back this week. And he's got new information for us regarding new data on future housing supply. So without further ado, Justin, why don't you give us what you got?
Thanks, Jake. Today we're going to be discussing housing starts and housing permits. So let's dive right on in. Housing starts, which is the existing supply of homes, in January was down 4.5%, which brought the total down to 21% year over year. Single family residences, which are the most important, were down 4.3% last month. This brought us down to 27% year over year. Now let's kind of pivot over to the housing permits. The housing permit, which is the future supply, was up 0.1% last month, but is also down 27% year over year. Single family residents were down 1.8% and currently are down a massive 40% year over year. This is where the number last week we discussed, the 25% appreciation over a 5-year period, is coming from. Yes, we are seeing affordability having a challenge right now, but it's not like the alternative, renting, is getting any cheaper by any means. Even with higher monthly payments, owning a home, you still take advantage of principal pay down and equity gain over time. Regardless of what your interest rate or monthly cost is, it's fundamentally smarter than renting. Back to you.
Thanks, Justin. And on that note, we also got the most recent NAHB Builder Survey for February. In this report, their metric increased by 7 points, going from 35 to 42. Now, this is significant because this is the strongest 1 month gain on this report in over 10 years. This is the second month in a row of increases as well. We saw an increase in all three of the components that they track, which is present conditions, prospective buyers traffic, and a future outlook on the market. These figures are still in contraction territory, being less than 50 on their survey, but we're clearly rebounding and things are going in the right direction. Now, it's also important to note that the confidence is from builders who are completing new homes. There's a huge difference between somebody who's selling an existing home that they own and a builder that's selling a new home. An existing homeowner still gets a benefit of being able to live in that home and occupy it, even if they can't sell the home as fast as they want. Whereas a builder is going to be much more sensitive to these market factors. They've got carrying costs if they took out a loan for that property, and either way, they've got capital tied up in these projects, which are going to prevent them from starting new projects. With builders showing a big jump in confidence, this is really positive to see. And that's it, folks. We hope you've enjoyed all of the information we've been able to compile for you this week on this episode of The Bottom Line.